I think it's okay.
It's okay.
Others may join. What is the average attendance till now?
Right now it's 23, but usually 25, around 25 it goes. So it is very, very close to the attendance, sir. We can start.
Average attendance. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I think let's start with your brief introduction, 1 or 2 minutes, then we'll start.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Please.
So, participants, good afternoon to you all. Today we are going to have our third session just about to start. And with us, we are having Professor Srinibas Pathi, sir. He is a senior professor in the Department of Public Administration, Mizoram University. He has been head 3 times in the department, and he has been dean of his school. He's a senior faculty member in our university. He's member of almost all important committees in university. He had been chief editor of Journal of Mizoram University. Uh, and his experience is immense. Whenever he talks on any issue, always you will find one human touch in that. We consider him a true Gandhian thinker, and he's not only a thinker in Gandhian line. He actually, his behavior is also very much in the line of Gandhian thought. So today we requested him to be here, although he is very busy with some other work. But as we, when I some last 2 years back, I told him, sir, I want to contact you. He told me just put any time, any slot, any day, and give me any topic, and don't ask me. Like that he told. So I gave him 2 3 topics, and he did give first one. He didn't saw, I think, the rest of the topics. So topic actually we decided. Then one date and time I told. He told, okay, don't ask. I will be there. And then yesterday he told that he's having some other engagement, but he couldn't prepare his PPT because of those engagements. So he will be presenting his way like that only. So thank you, sir, for all sort of support you have extended to us. Not only for this program, for all other programs also. So friends, he is going to talk on the topic strong institutional culture and student mentoring. So two different thoughts he is going to combine is his 1.5 hour presentation talk. So let's enjoy it. Let's try to understand what he is going to tell, and don't forget to put your questions in Q&A box so that he may respond. Actually, he is a person who likes to talk, interact more than one way speaking. But in this platform only you can type and we can pose this question to sir. So try to put more questions to him to grasp and to extract more from him. So sir, now time is yours, sir. You may start.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Bhartendu. It's a pleasure talking to my colleagues, and being invited by you. I deem it as a rare honor because when people tell me that you want to talk on some new topic, actually I learn as an ardent student. And today I'm very happy that in this FIP, I am asked to talk about strong institutional culture and student mentoring. So, before going to the topic, straightway, let us talk little bit about the conceptual nuances that are linked to this general topic. First of all, culture. Dear friends, as all of us know, culture is the lifeblood of civilization. We are known by our culture. It is our soul. Any society at any point of time, anywhere in this world, knows that it is the culture which is the hallmark of the society and the people. Not only that, this culture sustains a society, the people, the groups, group dynamics, and the people from generation to generation. If this is culture per se, let us go to institutional culture. Dear friends, all of us know that we are in institutional setup, academic institutions, higher educational institutions, and institution is actually is a conglomerate. It has so many dimensions, aspects forces which make one institution. It has history, origin, growth, development, and it has many follies, many achievements, many failures, successes, and with every passing day, institution learns to cope up with the challenges. And when we talk about institutional culture, we talk about the organizational behavior patterns. A particular institution imbibes a number of behavior patterns that of the stakeholders. Suppose when we talk about a university or a college, we know the management, the faculty, the support staff, the students, research scholars, the society at large, the decision makers, all of them taken together, they have their behavior patterns, all culminating in the institutional culture. And we cannot forget values, attitudes, ideas, ideologies, vision, and mission of the institution. You take any example, anywhere in the world, an institution stands for the values. When we went to many of the institutions for NAC accreditation visit, we have seen there are many remote area located colleges and universities, those who carry most universal and global values. And these are the values that make our institutional culture vibrant. The attitudes, we have seen people, alumni contributing to the good of the university or the college and contributing to the vibrant life of the institution, ideas and ideologies. If I come back to my own university, Mizoram University, it has the tagline, greater deeds remain. Dear friends, what more we can expect that my university says that if you do something today, do greater, bigger tomorrow, because these are the things to continue forever. So this is like ideology that students, they are our mainstay. Whatever we do, whatever we stand for, we are here only for our students and our scholars. Without them, we are nothing. So this is our ideology. Our entire life's ideology is that we should rededicate ourselves for the cause of the students and the scholars. Suppose I say vision and mission. Suppose the vision of the university is that within next few years, we want to make it a center of excellence. And the mission is to fulfill that vision. Let us take up a course, methods, methodology that can lead us in the path of progress, constructive and positive ideas. Then, when we talk about institutional culture, we know work culture, ecology of the institution. What is work culture? Suppose somewhere we have seen beyond office hours, people are working, the research scholars. If I give you the example of this particular room I am sitting now, I came to the HRDC, Mizoram University's room. So let me come. The friends will be surprised to know that the main person is absent, but still at the same time, his students, the scholars, are so good. They accommodated me, and with their help, I'm able to talk to you something, even though we have internet issues in the university. This is the culture we imbibe, we learn from. And subcultures and internal dynamics. Whenever you have different types of people, different groups, at that particular point, we know that there are subcultures, faculty groups, associations, students groups, staff, their associations, research scholars, their teams, different management groups, society, the periphery, parents, guardians, alumni, they bring with them the subcultural values. And when we take together all these subcultures, they make one good conglomerate, aggregate institutional culture. Our topic is what is strong institutional culture? Here, the word strong or where from strength comes. Whenever we talk about an institution, we know there are some inherent and latent factors, something we see, we perceive, we visualize, and something we may not see, we may not visualize, we may not perceive. Both these inherent and latent factors, which are actually available to us and which we can imagine, both these become the strength of the institution and the continuum, past, present, and future. We learn from the past. We take a pledge today. We move to the future towards greater deeds. So, continuum of the institution talks about past, present, and future, all tangled into a particular way of thinking, way of working, and mechanical bonding and emotional and systemic linkages. When we work, it's just not mechanical activity. I come to the institution, I sit in my chair, I do my duty, and I feel my activities, my teaching, my pedagogy may not reach the students or research scholars. That is not the way. It has to be going beyond the mechanical activity. It has to be emotional bonding, has to be systemic linkages. Then only we can say there is a strong institutional culture. And dear friends, when we talk about the components of strong institutional culture, we get a host of different activities and ideas. For instance, let me start with the origin and background of the institution. A university or a college is a positive, constructive, and welcome outcome of the social aspirations of the people. Many times, the government, the private people, joint sector, they all come together, they join hands to establish an educational institution. And if I give example of my university, Mizoram University, all of you know, this is called a land of peace. Mizoram is a land of peace and where the university is an outcome of the Mizo Peace Accord, the longest running peace accord in India or for that matter in the entire world. So when the university has this background, this origin, then definitely it talks about the background which is strong, positive, and constructive. So any institution for that matter should have a very strong origin and background to bank upon. The people who are in the institution, they must be aware of that the founders, the original people who could imagine this institution, who could toil hard to bring about this particular change in the society in the context of promoting higher education and research. That is the origin and background of institutional culture. Next one is objectives, aims and objectives. What are they? They can be many: social, economic, cultural, political, pragmatic, philosophical, and sustainable. If an institution is there, then it cannot have a very myopic view of the situation. It has to be getting all the ideas together that there are social needs, there are economic objectives, there are political aspirations, there are cultural traits, there are pragmatic necessities, and there are sustainability issues. When we join together, they become the aims and objectives of institutional culture. Coming to the policies, plans, programs, and priorities. Because from these objectives, we come to so many P's. P for policy, P for plan, P for program, P for priorities. When an institution continues to work, there should be proper planning. There should be proper programming. There should be proper policies to guide. And there should be priorities. What should be there? I give an example to you. Someone told that let us have a big engineering college attached to the university. Then the next big question is, where are the feeder institutions, the colleges from which science students would come to the university? So immediately the priority change. Let us try to promote science education at the higher secondary level. Then only they can come up to the level of engineering college. Similarly, the life science or biology students, they may come for medical or paramedical courses. When we want to start it, let us also promote biological and life science courses. Then only they can come over to the medical or paramedical courses. Whenever we think about any kind of mass communication, event management courses, tourism courses, we need to have the background of soft skill, English language skill. Then only they can come up to those areas in which they can excel. So policies, plans, programs, and priorities are very significant in the context of institutional culture, or rather strong institutional culture. And friends, remember, this is not only about theoretical activities, it's also about practical issues. What are they? Quantitative expansion and qualitative inputs. It's not just number of departments, number of faculty members, number of students, number of buildings, but also the way we produce graduates, postgraduates, research scholars, and we contribute to the society in different ways, like in different walks of life. We contribute to teaching faculty, researchers, officials, employed and self-employed people, entrepreneurs, innovative people, public opinion leaders. So when we think of all these ideas, these are qualitative development. So not only quantitative, that department-wise, school-wise, institutional, infrastructure-wise, there should be development that also should be qualitative in nature. So quality and quantity need to go together. So whenever we think of any kind of discipline, any kind of new school of thought, any kind of department, we must know that only adding numbers will not help. Along with that, we need to have qualitative changes. We need qualified and dedicated teachers, faculty. We need the staff, support staff who can supplement the efforts of the teachers. We need the students, the research scholars who are keen to learn and to dedicate themselves for any particular field so that when they go out of the institution, they can contribute effectively, constructively to the society. Then comes institutional leadership. Friends, remember, any institution, anywhere in the world, depends upon individuals, individual leaders, academic administrators, educational leaders. I know there are universities in the country where one particular individual or one family, they have contributed so much that their leadership has given shape to the past, present, and possible future of that particular institution concerned. Suppose, let me give you the example of my own university. Mizoram University is a central university. It was part of the NEHU as Mizoram campus from 1979 till 2000. Parliament of India passed the separate Mizoram Central University Act in the year 2000. In 2001, this university was established as a separate central university. If I am to tell you the leadership in this university, and if I am to tell you the way leadership has shaped the past, present, and possible future of my university, let me give you brief example. Suppose our first vice chancellor, we can call that phase of initiation. The first VC, phase of initiation. Second vice chancellor, I can tell phase of consolidation, phase of consolidation. My third vice chancellor, I can tell phase of affirmation, phase of affirmation. The fourth vice chancellor, the fourth vice chancellor, I can tell phase of innovation. And in some near future, if we get a fifth vice chancellor, then I wish that vice chancellor should be a leader of vision, phase of vision, visionary leadership. So from initiation to consolidation to affirmation to innovation to vision, these are the types of leaders we have. This is not only for one university. In the whole country, when we get 1,000+ universities, 44,000 plus colleges, thousands of stand-alone higher education institutions, then we should know that they are not existing in vacuum. They exist because of strong, hardworking, and dedicated academic leadership. And that we have to think in terms of part of institutional culture. Friends, next is very significant. Today, we live in the age of information, communication, and technology, ICT. And when we think about ICT, how can we forget about information, communication, technology, documentation, and dissemination of ideas and best practices? Institutional culture depends upon these ideas. Suppose with transparency and openness, with judicious use of technology, state of the art technology and the processes, methods, institution sustains for a long time. Whenever we think about any institution, there must be free flow of information. There should be communication from all sides, one-on-one communication, group communication, mass communication, communication through use of technology, documentation, then publication and dissemination of ideas and best practices. These form a very strong part of any institutional culture. Next comes this innovation, skill development, and futuristic orientation. Friends, as all of you know, that today it is much beyond the textbook study, even reference studies, stereotype research activities. No, we have to go much beyond these type of activities with which we have been experimenting for over a century. Now it is the time of innovation, time of skill development, time of futuristic orientation. If someone would like to be at par with the global academic standards, we need to know Internet of Things. We need to know metaverse. We need to know the way the real and the digital, they make the surreal experience. We need to know how this metaverse has changed the entire gamut of pedagogy in the institutions, in one place, in one country, and also at the global level. So here we need to think of innovation, skill development, and futuristic orientation of higher education institution. There should be state-of-the-art technology. And I was talking to you that library and information science, I take one example. Previously, we knew only about books, journals, newspapers. But today, it is not library. It is a learning resource center. different types of media, print, electronic, use of internet, and use of different types of combined efforts, that is learning resource center. In our school days, college days, a library is a storehouse of books, articles, journals, and newspapers. But today, it is much more than that. You go there and you find the difference today, and we need to know about such activities. And if we need to think beyond the stereotypes, we need to know about innovation, skill development, and futuristic orientation. Friends, next comes sharing, caring, and empathetic attitude. As human beings, remember, if you can make someone smile, if you can give someone a glass of water, you can have a small flower and gift it to someone. This is sharing, caring, and having empathetic attitude. My highest qualifications are of no value unless I imbibe such basic things of life. What is soft skill after all? You have skill, but that soft skill, how you talk, how you behave, how you interact, and how you feel for others. Friends, there are two terms in English dictionary I am fascinated with. One is this empathy, one is pragmatism. So pragmatism, that you have to be up to date to present moment, and empathetic, we should see as other people see. We should feel as other people feel. Then that is the height of our academic excellence that we need to imbibe in an institution. Next comes very important, learning from our mistakes. When, if I give my own example, suppose only 32 years back, I got my PhD degree. I was very angry with my supervisor, my examiners, my teachers. Oh, I have written a world class, a Nobel standard thesis. Why they are making so fun of me and getting so many corrections, and they want me to change 7 times, and I got my degree. Dear friends, I have no hesitation in admitting before you that today, if I am the examiner of my own PhD thesis in that form, I will hesitate to give 0 out of 100. I give minus mark. I salute to my teachers, my supervisor. They're so nice that in spite of so many they could give me, they could award me my PhD. But with the Lord, we learn from our mistakes. They could learn from my own three terms. One is a probability. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. In between, it got disconnected, but now, hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because in the campus there is some issues of internet. Okay, thank you. So my point is, when we learn that there are some problems, then immediate issue is we should try to convert those problems into challenges and challenges into opportunities. Let me tell you, this particular talk, normally these HRDC activities were offline. We were coming to a classroom situation. the resource person, the participants, the organizers were in a room and we tried to have interaction. But COVID-19 pandemic compelled that let us convert this big global problem into a challenge. We found out the online mode, blended mode, and then this became the opportunity so that in spite of having 4 5 activities today, I could make it, and within 2 minutes I could come from my department to another department in search of a stable internet connection. If I am not able to tell you clearly or correctly, it is my fault, but still, we have tried to change this problem through challenge into opportunities. And this institutional culture teaches us this idea. How can we convert problem into challenge and challenge into opportunity? In that case, solution will not be far from us. So instead of going to solution of a problem, let us try to categorize it as the challenge and then into opportunities. Next item is individual performances and achievements. An institutional culture actually becomes very vibrant only when individuals they perform and they achieve. The teachers, they become good teachers, they write good articles, they become good research guides, they become dedicated seminarists, and they become the mentors of the students. And their achievements taken together, they become institutional achievements and performance. Then group activities and coordination. In a department, research work is actually a group activity. The institutional rules, regulations, policies, they provide the background. The teachers, they become the guide or the supervisor. The students, they become research scholars. The library and learning resource centers, they become facilitators. Then, with the coordination and cooperation of all these stakeholders, research is possible in an institution. When we achieve synergy in this organizational setup, then only we can feel that definitely organizational output and outcome will be excellent. And any institution which talks about excellence must have such output to outcome, which is from starting from individual performance achievement to group activity to institutional excellence, institutional output and outcome. Then, last but not least, the idea is the social connect and bonding. Remember, institutions do not operate in vacuum. We operate in a social setup. We operate in the area in which we have to live with people, the periphery, and the social connect is very significant. I can give you one example, that is the community college. The community college is one such example where there is no formal degree, no formal teaching, but the people who have certain traditional skill, they will come, they'll interact with the faculty member, the research scholar, the student, and there'll be exchange of ideas, and they can contribute positively, constructively. There'll be some production, some kind of exchange of ideas. And this practice of community college is the best example of citizen connect or social connect and leading to social welfare, participatory behavior, and the students, teachers, scholars going, reaching out to the community for the good of the community. So, with these basic things, let me now go over to the next, which is the next part of the topic, student mentoring. Friends, if this is strong institutional culture, how does it contribute to student mentoring? And before I go into this topic, let me have the prologue I quote three important people. You might have heard that Swami Vivekananda, the great saint of India, he told education is the manifestation of perfection that is already within the human beings. If I teach in the class, actually I try to ignite the minds, young minds, so that they can bring out the excellence which is already within them, which is God given, which is within them, and that has to come out. This is Swami Vivekananda. Then Mahatma Gandhi. Education is a great game changer in life for the individual, for the group, for the society, for the nation, for the world. And Gandhiji told, be the change you want to see in the world. Don't complain, but try to be the change you want to see in this world. What more message we need in this educational field in the context of student mentoring? And last but not least, the motivational speaker, writer, Mr. Shiv Khera, he says that successful people don't do different things. They do things differently. So Shiv Khera said that those who have become great, who are successful, they don't do different things, the same thing, but in a different way. This is my background to student mentoring, that we do not teach anything to the students. We need to get ideas and we have to ignite their minds so that they will become the best possible human beings that they could be. Then they should be the change agents rather than the people who look to others for change, and they do the same things in a different way so that they achieve. And dear friends, as all of us know, there is a saying that there is always a vacancy at the top. Nobody remembers the second person who landed on the moon. But Neil Armstrong is the name which is household name everywhere. When in the Indian context, who is Rakesh Sharma, the first person who went to the space and who told, how does India look? He told the then Prime Minister, Madam, it looks like Sare Jahan se Acha Hindustan Hamara. My country is the best in the world. That people remember. But after that, might have gone someone, but we don't remember. So always there is a vacancy at the top. That should be the aim. But remember, let us aim at the sky. Most likely, we will land in a skyscraper. We may not, everybody may not go to sky, but most likely we land up in the skyscraper. So the activity here is that student mentoring is actually is a group of activities. Student mentoring is not just teaching them, making them good research scholars, or producing any thesis or project report. It is actually so many activities taken together, and we may not forget, we must not forget that the students are the most important stakeholder in the entire institutional scenario. We are all here only because of the students. If they are active, if they are very good, if they are vibrant, if they achieve something in life, if they become socially useful human beings, then only our mentoring becomes successful. When I talk about mentoring, there are different dimensions. First of all, academic activities like teaching, research, and support activities like extension, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Let me give an example. In some of the universities and colleges, there is a student-centric seminar. What is student-centric seminar? The students themselves suggest a topic. They choose a chairperson. They choose the presenters. Then they have the actual meeting. Some of them, they become discussants. Some of them put questions. And in the entire activity, the teachers, they are only the facilitators. And if they can do it, this is the best possible mentoring we can do, rather than we give a talk, a monologue, and they have to respond to it or they have to just listen to it. But when they participate, they contribute, then only we can know that our mentoring is successful. Then social outreach. Remember the NSS, NCC activities. Those students going to different areas. This morning we had a blood donation camp, and I'm so happy to tell you that before teachers could reach, the students were in plenty. One of the organizers told me, sir, what to do? The teachers are not coming. I said, no need. Teachers will join. They will be led by the students because they are the main stakeholders. If the students come, they donate blood, they become volunteers, they become the people who would make it successful. That is the mentoring. And the teachers, they are only the facilitators. The group activities, they should be participating by themselves. And the urge to participate must come from inside. Then innovation or leadership traits. Remember, what is the idea that there should be a class representative, there should be a deputy class representative, young boys and girls, young students leading their class fellows. They are coordinating with them, with the teachers, and making things happen. This is the preliminary leadership training which we give them, because in different walks of life, they have to show these leadership traits. And that is the way, friends, when there is a convocation, the vice chancellor, he reads out that message that today I award you with this degree and charge you that ever in your life and conversation you prove worthy of this degree. This is the mentoring part, that you get a degree. But wherever you go, people must tell, oh, this person is so educated, this person is so qualified, but at the same time, he is worthy of the degree he or she has achieved. So, whenever such traits we imbibe in the students, that is part of student mentoring. And skill development. Dear friends, you know that today it's a very grim reality. It's not that bright picture, but sometimes we have to talk about such unpalatable things. Today, suppose there are 1,000 qualified, educated young men and women in front of us. Barely 4 out of 1,000 would be getting some kind of employment in the organized sector or the formal sector. So, what about 996? Do they have no value? Are they not qualified? Yes, they are. But the system of organized job is so less. So now it is the part of the mentoring that we have to imbibe in them, that this formal job is okay if you get it, nice. But if you do not get, you have some skills. Some is very good in painting. Some people, some students have excellent handwriting. You become painter. Then you can earn a livelihood. Some have very good skills in carpentry, in computer programming, in gardening. These look very small, petty, but in most parts of India where people have become self-employed or entrepreneurs, they have become such good source in the society that they not only feed their family but also contribute to the growth of other people who join them. So whenever we think of such skills, that we should try to inspire the students that it is not the formal job, not end of the road, and there is enough possibilities, opportunity which is waiting for us outside the very microscopic organized labor scenario. Then, as I already discussed, that empathy, values, ethical conduct, morality in student is actually one of our basic aims. We need to talk to the students that remember this is the time, formative stage, you should imbibe such values. In the country, in India, we celebrate Vigilance Awareness Week from 31st October to 6th November every year. We organize many competitions, debate, essay, poster making. This year, the theme was Corruption Free India for a Developed Nation. Friends, you will be surprised to know the students who came for poster making competition. Their posters were so eye openers for all of us that we thought we never taught them. From their imagination, they have made so good paintings, posters, that we decided that in different parts of the university, let us fix them because they will lead us that a corruption free India can become a developed nation. So that is the thing that the empathy, the values, the ethical conduct of the student should be the outcome of our mentoring activities. Next comes personality development, personality grooming, problem solving, and facing the challenges. God forbid, nobody should fall prey to such activities. Suppose there are some substance abuse cases. Some people, they have heartbreaks. Some students, they do not know where to go if they have some problem in the examination. They fail, but that is not the end of the road. We should tell them that face the challenge. This is not the last thing. Not getting successful, good marks in examination is not the end of the road. It can be one issue because the mistakes, they are our great teachers. We learn from our mistakes. So if I can learn from my mistake, no other teacher can be a better person than my own mistakes. I may not repeat it. That is the mentoring part that we have to imbibe in the students that yes, there are issues, there are problems, there are challenges you can overcome. I give an example of a student. Dear friends, a boy, he belonged to a very rural, poor family. And he was selling some vegetable banana in the market. When he came for admission to postgraduate classes, some of the teachers were skeptical. They told, how can a boy who is selling vegetable in the market, he can become a PG student? Somehow I could convince the teachers that that is the only reason that we should admit him. I said, what, sir? Why should we admit? Because a boy, he is standing in his own feet, supplementing the family income, coming up to the postgraduate classes. And friends, you know that the GER, gross enrollment ratio in higher education in India, actually is from 20 to 25%. That means if 17 years back, 100 boys and girls were in standard 1, today barely 20 to 25 can be seen in college or university. Rest 75 or 80, they have been out of the system midway. And if this boy has come up to this level, let us help him, facilitate him. And today, I'm so happy to tell you, without naming the boy, he got first class in PG, he got UGC NET, he got MPhil, now defunct from 2020. He got PhD, and now he is a proud teacher in one of the institutions. What more mentoring can do? Just imagine the reverse. That day, we could decide unanimously, no. Somebody selling vegetable, I should not come to the class. What would have happened? An empathetic teacher would have lost. And one example, ideal for others, would have lost. Now that one boy, he becomes the ideal for many more in this country, because India is a country of possibilities. So we know that if this is possible, anything is possible. And that is the part of student mentoring we are talking about. And friends, one more issue, out of the box thinking. Sky is not the limit. Out of the box thinking. And Vardhendu says, put questions in the box. If you don't put, I don't mind, but think out of the box. Because the ideas which have shaped history of mankind, most of them are out of the box thinking. If some could not think of the idea of flying in the air, today we would not have got jet planes. And we should not forget that Thomas Edison, failures and failures and failures. But finally, most of the modern science, they are based upon the initial inventions of Thomas Edison. That first big television, which was just like a big room, now coming to a television which is in a watch, the miniest form of television, that wireless system. If people would not have thought of out of the box ideas, today our world would not have seen these many changes. So we should instill in the minds of our students that think out of the box, think something new. There may be failures, initial hiccups, teething problem, but one day you can succeed. All of you know our late lamented president APJ Abdul Kalam, very fondly called People's President, igniting minds, young minds. And Abdul Kalam always told very interesting thing, that you wish for something and get it is good. Think of something and get it, that is good. You aspire for something and don't get it, it is better, because there is someone, providential force, which doesn't want it, and you proceed further. So this is the way that philosophical, spiritual ideas can enrich. That getting everything is not the way, but how to cope up with the idea that failures are also part of our learning system. That is the mentoring part I am talking about. Then we have to make the students society ready, job ready, employment ready, and self-employment ready. Remember that today there is a need that we should be providing to the society the job givers, not job seekers, because it is enough. There have been many examples. I tell you some success stories in Bihar, in a remote village, to IIT graduates. They saw rice husk, like in North India now, this stubble burning creates problem in environment. So these two IITians in Bihar villages, they thought, let us have rice husk as the raw material. We produce biogas, we produce manure, and that became a turning point in one village and in the state and in different parts of the country. You go to Chhattisgarh, you find the tribal ladies, they have innovative ways how to use one log of wood so that they can make cooking for 1 week. You have some people who can try to have 1000 rupees, a big refrigerator, ideas that can change India, that can shape India's future. So these people, they become the providers. There is one professor in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. He has prepared one small wooden pot, and that becomes a cooler. And He doesn't want to sell it to the multinational companies, corporation. He says that it should go to the rural areas where people, by spending 200 rupees, they can have their earthen pot coolers. This is the way they should also involve people. And our purpose here, that if we can imbibe such spirit in our students, that is the part of mentoring. Try to make them job givers, not job seekers. Then, last but not least, here, physical, mental, and emotional well being of the students. When they come to the institution, they spend few hours. But remember, friends, that the students, while coming to the university or the college or any institution for that matter, they know that it is the most vital part of the day. They spend with teachers, with the seniors, with their peers, with other people associated with library, laboratory, sports. So then they have to learn many things, including academics, physical fitness, mental fitness, and emotional stability. And that is the part of mentoring we need to imbibe, because remember, a stable person can't do anything. There are students we know that they are very good in memorizing, but very poor in actually writing. There are very good people who can speak, but while putting them into black and white on paper, they falter. So these are the gaps we need to fill. And our education system now is in a process of churning. After so many years, 75 years of independence, we got one new National Education Policy 2020. I know there are teething problems, there are issues here and there, but whenever we should whenever we should think about the national policy, we should know that even now also that activities, physical, mental, and emotional strength of students, that need to be taken care of. Now, I get one question here. Dr. Roy has written the question that what we should do for emotional well-being of the students. I think this is not a question that black and white. Life is gray. Similarly, the students who had emotional issues or who have emotional issues, they actually need a concerted effort of parents, guardians, teachers, their seniors, their peers, academic administrators taken together, and we need to have proper counseling. And dear friends, there is one guidance and counseling cell in my university in the Department of Chemical this psychology department, where I was thinking about that this is one department where we thought that there should be some kind of counseling. We thought it's not needed, but in fact, when we talk about those teachers, those counselors, those student guides, we came to know that there are many issues which the students may not be sharing with their parents. They can share only with a professionally qualified counselor. So, whenever we think of such issues, we need to know that counseling is very much part of this mentoring process. That, God forbid, nobody should suffer emotionally. But in case there is some issue, maybe in the institutions, we may need counseling. Then, while talking about mentors, as I told you already, that there are different types of mentors, starting with the family, near and dear ones, the parents, brothers, sisters, and other relations. They are the first people from childhood till the student enters into education institutions, and more so when they enter into higher education institutions. These are the most important people who have to provide support, including psychological and emotional support. Then teachers, obviously, teachers, we are very significant part of the mentoring process. The support staff, the people who manage library, learning resource centers, laboratory, sports facilities, they are also part of this mentoring team. Then the seniors, those who guide in any way, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, sometimes in a mixed way, but still seniors, their interactions, they're also very significant. Then peers, class fellows, their friends, their group mates, they also can be part of this mentoring process. Then professional, personality development experts or counselors. And last but not least, alumni. Let me give one example to you. The other day, I was visiting one of the very important colleges in one of the states for their third NAC accreditation visit. And there, curiously asked, who has donated money for the physics laboratory? Sir, alumni. Who has donated for this big water tank? Sir, alumni. Who has donated so many new books, almiraj to the library? Sir, alumni. Who has contributed to this new seminar room? Sir, alumni. Oh my God. I was so happy to note because the question is that there are so many people in this country where many of them they have achieved something in life, but still they try to contribute to their alma mater. They come back to the institution, and by that mentoring, they imbibe the spirit in the existing students, present day student, that if these people can do, why not you? So that is the way. Whenever we think about such activities, let me also tell you that alumni, they also can be part of this mentoring process. Then suppose mentoring is done, we do our duty sincerely, then what next? That means if there is proper student mentoring in the context of strong institutional culture, what actually happens? What is the outcome of this mentoring process? Number one, which is our main activity, academic excellence. The students, they score high marks in the examinations and they get degrees. They become job ready or employment ready or ready to become self-employed people, job seeker or job giver. Now I got a question while talking to you. The question is, what sort of moral values we can imbibe in the students who appear in examinations, and they may get good marks or they may not. The point is, examination has become today a continuous evaluation system. It's not about mugging up things, getting by heart, or writing in one final examination. Today, examination is substituted by a continuous evaluation mechanism. We need to know this and imbibe this in the student, that throughout the academic calendar, academic year, one has to be consistent. We need to learn the skills. We need to learn how to speak, how to think, how to write, and how to interact. These are major things today rather than writing the answers to some 4 or 5 questions and getting the marks. So that is the case where academic excellence is one of the outputs, but it is not the only output coming out of mentoring. Then balanced personality. The students who pass out of the institution, they need to have a balanced personality, that they have to be successful, they must be achieving something in life, but just in case there is a gap, there is a glitch, there is a lag, they must know how to cope up with such a situation. A balanced personality is such personality which has to think about all these issues, that whatever I feel, I get. All right, just in case, God forbid, I don't get, what next? That should be one of the results, outcomes of mentoring. Then positive bent of mind, positive attitude. This is very problematic. Some people say, no, when we live in the water, how can we remain without being wet? No, it's quite possible. Being in the water, you still can maintain yourself. Think of that lotus, one particular uh, tree, that where this plant you find drops of water, but the water doesn't touch that particular leaf because it is still there with it but doesn't touch it. And the idea is that remain yourself, be yourself. And even there are issues, negativities all around. But if with my positive attitude, I can make a change. Suppose there is a big dark room, I can have one small matchbox, one matchstick, and little light I can add. I may not be able to simply wipe out the darkness, or little way I can make for myself with a small matchstick. Self confidence and world view. Remember, many times self confidence gives us the moral boosting. Yes, I can. Yes, I should be able to do it. Rather than if I don't do, what will happen? There is some theory, they say this power of now, that now is the time. Many people say we have not seen our past life. We don't know what happens after death. Time is now. So be confident, do it. And if whatever happens, that is for the society to judge. But if in confidence you can take the first step, you never know, second step can be much easier. And the world view, that today in this present era, when there are many types of influences on us, social media in particular, there are many things which are trash, which are not up to mark. But now, with worldview, with my personality, my positive attitude, I must know what I need to have, what I need to discard. That is the idea, that I need to know that whenever I feel like this particular activity, that self confidence and my worldview. This is the way I need to know that mentoring results in this. Then courage of conviction to face challenges in life. Life is full of challenges. There will be issues, there will be problems, there will be challenges, but one should have courage of conviction to face it. And recently, for past 2 years, when we had this COVID-19 pandemic, then I could know that what are the challenges, unthinkable, unimaginable proportions. But from KG to PG, students, parents, guardians, teachers, everybody faced it. And we could face the challenge with a concerted effort. Yes, we could not achieve what we intended to, but still, with the courage of conviction, we could tide over that pandemic, which came in front of our eyes a century after. That is the first, which came in 1918 to 1920. Second came 2020 to 2022, and some few cases are still there, but still we are continuing. And the students, after mentoring, they should be the change agents. They should not be the people who lament, and they should not be the people who only try to find fault with others. Let them become the change agents in the institution, in the society, and in any walk of life they go in. Then the society has to feel that Educational institutions are not just for degree, not just for awarding marks. They are more for the social cause and to provide some people who can be worthy of being called educated or qualified. And friends, I think I would have to complete here and I will give some time for discussion. And the last word, friends, mark it. The last word is just like life situations. There is no last word in education. In life, there is no full stop. Life continues irrespective of our getting something or not getting something, successes and failures, individuals coming and going, but eternal life continues. And that is the way we look at life in any given situation. Similarly, education, it is the sphere where there is no last word. Any activity, any kind of academic activity in the context of institutional culture and mentoring, that could be a comma or a semicolon. It's not a full stop. As I gave my own example of my degree, that today I may give minus marking, if not zero. But at the same time, we have to feel that we are in a journey of academic excellence. We march as far as much as we can, but still at the same time, we have to see that we should leave something for the posterity, that they must know that we have tried our level best, and whatever happens today, that will be the starting point for tomorrow. Both the mentor and the mentee, the students and the teachers, the starting point is they should believe in themselves. First, believe in themselves, then only they can make others believe. So that is the way I think a strong institutional culture can contribute to mental and physical and emotional well-being of the students, and mentoring can be successful. Let me try to get some questions here. Can you have the help me with this one? Just check. Hmm. Hmm.
Sir, there were two questions you already answered.
You can read out one by one. Let us at least discuss
Both
with.
you already answered, sir.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Already
Yeah.
took that.
It's okay. Yeah, I
Very-
think if anyone, you can go cross. Yeah. If anyone, you can cross this. You can cross this. If anyone has any question or anything to discuss, because I give them 10 minutes time, it's okay. But Professor Bhardendu, my query to you, was it audible? Because the internet is very flexible here. It's coming and going, and
Uh,
all the way we are trying hard to cope up with the fluctuating net. Was it audible?
Occasionally, sir, occasionally it dropped
Yeah.
for a few
Yeah.
seconds, but then it is recovering.
Yeah, yeah, because that is the way the whole internet scene in the campus is like that only. Hmm.
So you are
No,
using Wi-Fi.
anything. Yeah, this is Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
no?
that
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
you Wi-Fi.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, Wi-Fi is
Hmm.
having problems, sir.
Hmm.
Wired one
I
is
think,
okay.
yeah, but wired one, that side also, in our place also, quarter side also very problematic.
Okay, okay.
So is it, actually, can we look at this chart? Um, I think, uh,
No, only two questions and rest all
अच्छा,
only.
one thing is there, social media distractions, because that I was talking about, that if I have that attitude, confidence in me, then what to accept, what not to accept, that I have to decide as a participant in higher education system, as a student and as a researcher. Let me also try to say that if any material without any kind of inquiry, can I accept it? I think that is one particular thing. Mentoring can also contribute to this, because all good things, bad things, even many things to be discarded, they come in front of us because there is no editing. There is no censorship in social media. So that is the way I think mentoring can be helpful here, so that we know that what to accept, what not to accept, and that we should try to actually learn by way of mentoring and by way of emulating the best spirit of institutional culture. Okay, if nothing is there, then anything, please tell me. What should we do?
Sir, no more questions, sir. Only those 2, 3 points were there, what you have
Yeah,
already
yeah.
answered.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and
Yes.
when it comes, I was trying to go through this. Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
so during your lecture, sir,
We
you
can
kept
call
an
it a day.
eye on chat box, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
When
that
you
was
read
very much
my
there.
post that put the
Hmm,
question in box,
hmm,
and
hmm.
immediately you commented that whether you put question in the box or not, but think out of
Yeah,
box. So that was very appropriate timing for
yeah,
put that
yeah, yeah.
sentence. And one more thing, if we want to
Thank you,
think out
thank
the
you.
box, we need to ask question.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless
yeah.
we ask question to ourselves,
Hmm,
to whom we
yeah.
are talking, unless we ask,
Yeah.
we cannot think out of
Hmm.
box. So that
Yes,
is
yes.
the need of the hour. We should ask question to
Yeah.
ourselves. We should
Hmm,
ask question
hmm,
to whom we meet.
You are
So,
right. You
sir,
are
with
right.
this, we may conclude the
Hmm.
session as there is no more
Yeah,
question in the session.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
thank you, sir,
So,
for.
should I just, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Should
Sure,
I
sir.
just leave after your talk? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yes,
yeah.
sure, sir. Sure,
So,
sir.
yeah. Okay. I thank you very much. It was very enlightening for me. You gave me opportunity to learn many things, contribute actually in a way.